Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. Today, I am ready to conquer my world. Now, when I'm speaking about my world, I'm speaking about the fears and the inhibitions that are contained within this body. Those things that seem to hold me back in life. That's the world I'm ready to conquer. I remember years ago watching TV, the circus. I loved watching the trapeze artists, especially the women in those beautiful little suits, and they walk across those tight ropes. But my parents could not afford to take us to the circus, so I watched it on TV. But I loved it. And I used to always think, wow, look at them. I would love to be doing something like that. But there was one major factor in my life that eliminated that from the very beginning. I have a fear of heights. Now, I also remember as a young child looking across the street from where I lived when I lived in Brooklyn, and there was a house that burned to the ground. I saw that fire raging, and I quickly developed a fear of fire. Now, a lot of times in life, what we create for ourselves are these scenarios that create so much stress in our lives that sometimes we end up with physical symptoms that actually make us ill. As a healthcare professional, I have seen many people come to the hospital, to psychiatric units, because of these fears that are in them, these stresses that cause them to just have enormous amounts of pain and sickness within their bodies. Myself, I've experienced some of that, so that's why I am ready to conquer my world. Finding ways to let loose those inhibitions, those stressors, to relieve myself from them so that I could move forward in my day peacefully. Fire, I told you, years ago, a great stressor, a great fear. But now, when I look at fire, I embrace fire. Have you ever sat and just watched a flame leaping about? How mesmerizing, how beautiful the changes of colors, the yellows, the blues, the orange. How beautiful it is. And when you sit before a roaring fire, it is such warmth and such comfort that is found within that. So that helps to release that fear. But we know that chaos can result with an element coming in and taking over. That would make the fire rage out of control. But in the interim, the fire is within control. So embrace some of those things that we fear the most in our lives to help us release that stress. A lot of people are now talking about meditation, doing yoga. These are things that will help you to release that stress, to embrace your world and to feel good about yourself. I'm a firm believer in affirmations, in affirming for myself. I feel good. I feel alive. I feel joy. These are affirmations. You know, I remember years ago I worked for a company called Combined Life Insurance Company of New York, headed up by W. Clement Stone. Had us read the book, Think and Grow Rich. Everybody, well, most people are familiar with that book. Right arm is not good for the left arm. You know, let's get rid of that right arm. It took me a long time to realize what that means. But they used to say if you walked to the door, because it was going business to business, knocking on the doors, when they slammed that door in your face, and believe me, they would slam those doors in your faces. When they slammed that door in your face, don't get depressed and walk with your head down and your body slumped over. Get up and sing some songs and get that spirit of life in you. It would be cold outside and I would be invigorated. That's all right, because all those 25 no's is eventually going to turn into a yes. By the end of the day, the 100 no's, there was a yes. But determination. Embracing that fear of someone, something taking over, taking you over. The stress. Do you know how much stress we associate in our lives? Think about it. We create such scenarios sometimes that we just literally make ourselves ill. We're believing things that don't even happen. We're wasting energy. We're wasting time. We're wasting our lives away by doing this. Think about it. Think about something that has happened in your life and you thought, oh, I'm going to get a ticket. I went through that red light. It may not happen now, but somehow it's going to get me. And this will be in your mind until, hey, what's going to happen? You're going to bring that ticket on. One day there you're going to be, and cop's going to come up and you're going to say, I knew it. I knew it was coming. Because you're stressed so much about it from the very beginning. So what we have to do in our lives, and what I have to do, look fear in the eye. I'm not afraid of you. You pounce up your head. I wrote a poem about that years ago. You pounce up your head. Pow! I'm going to bang you down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to embrace you as my friend, not as my enemy, but as my friend. Today, as I look around this room and I see the faces and I hear the smiles, I know that you can relate to these thoughts. So what I would like to leave you with today is this thought or this question. Are you ready to conquer your world? Mr. Toastmaster.